Hi, I'm Reese, owner of the Gold Zebra, the personal, professional, and business development hub for Gen Y women, and today I'm here with the amazing Olivia Keane. So excited as we celebrate International Women's Day, which is happening on Saturday, March 8th. So, yay, it's time to celebrate.
I thought it was Friday.
No, it's Saturday.
Oh, sorry. It's Saturday, folks.
Well, it's Friday today, but this is coming out on a Saturday. I mean,
So,
International Women's Day is on a Saturday, which is tomorrow. Yes.
sounds good.
I'm so confused. Anyways, so some of you may or may not know who Olivia Keane is. She is, for one of my really great friends, quite possibly my best friend and half-sister. We've known each other for like 13
Forever.
years on and off. But she is this amazing, talented, super energetic, overly passionate in a good way entrepreneur who's absolutely killing it online. She does a lot of kind of health and wellness life coaching. She also runs oliviakeane.com, which is a great resource for amazing food, awesome videos. She's absolutely hilarious. Her YouTube channel is amazing. I'd totally check it out if I were you. We'll talk a little bit at the end of the interview about all of the links to link up with her. But I wanted to talk to her today about kind of the busy girl's guide to feeling good about themselves, because I know a lot of us are very busy as career-driven women. And essentially, the first thing that goes out the door is your health and wellness. So that can be anything from sleep, which we talked a little bit about with Lindy Norris in a past Lunch+Learn interview, but that can extend to just not eating properly, grabbing kind of quick junk food on the go, not working out, like letting go of any routines that you've created. So Olivia is here to help us. So,
Sweet.
Yeah, so why don't you talk a little bit about kind of how you started your career and what you've been working on as of lately?
For sure. Okay. Well, I've basically narrowed it down that my number one passion and what I feel the strongest at is helping women specifically feel better about themselves so they can get busy doing what they love. The tool that I use is fitness and health, so teaching people to exercise better and eat well. And it's really funny over the years is people will be like, so you must, love working out like all the time and it must be such a big thing for you. And I'm like, actually, it's totally not my actual passion. Really what I'm excited about is helping people feel well. And definitely when your body is more in tune, you're going to be more likely to go after the job that you like or the guy that you like. So I'm really excited to just be focusing on women specifically and helping them achieve their goals and even beyond just their fitness goals. So I'm now working specifically on that. And yeah, it's just something I'm super passionate about. And I get to work with young women like you, Teresa. Yeah.
That's awesome. And you are also going to be one of the mentors for the Gold Zebras mentorship program, which is officially launching, fingers crossed, tomorrow on International Women's Day. So really excited about that. So if you have any questions for Olivia, you can definitely take advantage of our mentorship program, which will be launching, like I said, March 8th. But yeah, so what are you working on right now? Tell us.
I am working primarily online, but hosting a program online that basically helps bring women together and work on achieving their goals as a group rather than alone, because something that I've noticed over the years is that similarly we all struggle with the same things, and exercising sometimes at the end of the day can be overwhelming, and knowing what to eat and how to do it. And one thing I'm really, adamant and passionate about teaching people, especially us women, is because we tend to be so hard on ourselves, is that, although, it's not technically always your fault, it is our responsibility if we want to feel better, because we spend so much time beating ourselves up or being like, I have bad genetics or I'm lazy and I'm this. And it's like, no, when you really look around and see how our lifestyles are designed, our modern day living, it's insane. And it's no wonder that, all of us have some sort of adrenal fatigue or, even like small degrees of depression or unfulfillment because of the lack of, say, nutrients that we're getting in our diets, the lack of play in general, of just having fun and not being so stressed out. And so I'm so passionate about talking about really enjoying where you're at right now, even if, for instance, you are not near your goal per se, or you're struggling to get there, is finding little simple things that you can add into your life right away that make a huge impact. Because so much of the time we've been taught, or we've been around people who are dieting or restricting, and so we're always constantly in the state of like, okay, I'm going to lower my calories because I want to be skinnier for my, holiday or whatever, or I'm going to exercise more, and it always just feels, even in our mind, almost like a chore or an expense. And what I feel like is so important is to look at this as a benefit. So what it's going to do for you. So for instance, like I had this conversation with this girl this morning, and she's like, I'm, drinking a ton of coffee. I'm working out 5-6 days a week. And I don't know why, but I'm not getting the results nearly that I thought of. I feel like crap. I'm burnt out. And on top of it, I'm not enjoying my workouts. And so I asked her a few questions, just some basic things like, what is she eating? What is she doing? And I just realized, much like all of us, is she's really stressed out. And although exercise is a good form for our body, it's still a form of stress. And when our bodies from the inside aren't well, we're putting more stress on our stressed out body. And one of my favorite quotes is, we need to focus on working in before we can work out, because most of us have absolutely nothing to work out because we're so depleted. It's like going on the treadmill or going to play sports. It's just like, what are you using to say burn fat or build muscle when we're so overworked and busy? So just some basic things like the importance of adding good fats, sleeping better, de-stressing, and removing things in your life that might be causing you, more stress, whether it's people or environments or jobs and those kind of things. Just kind of changing people's perspective a little bit and allowing them to enjoy the moment more and feel good with where they're at.
Yeah. So before we talk about some more of the tips, that are small tips or changes that you can kind of make in your life, one of the things that you touched on that totally resonated with me is like this burden of technology. So technology is this amazing thing in that we've become a lot more efficient, a lot more effective. I mean, like we're Skyping right now. We're able to get a lot more done in a day, but it's also facilitated this societal shift where in like 100 years ago, when people were plowing fields and out doing manual labor and just had a very regimented schedule, it was very consistent and it allowed their bodies to kind of maintain that consistency, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And second to that, they're also eating a lot healthier, like, whereas nowadays with all of these technological advancements, we're like eating shit, doing a lot more, we're a lot more stressed.
Totally.
Like, a lot more is getting done, but at the same time, it's getting undone in the sense that like obesity rates are higher than ever before. People are more dissatisfied than ever before, and just it's this constant rat race of stress and just like lack of sleep and just
100%. Yeah, well, it's crazy that you're saying that, because I was just talking to somebody about that, and it's like this silent plague of depression, and I've just seen of unfulfillment, and it's due to feeling like that. Like, you check your phone, it's like Facebook notifications, emails, and all these things. So our bodies are always in that state of fight or flight. We're never fully like relaxed and in the moment. And so you take like poor diet, you take overwhelmed, stress, unfulfillment. It's like, no wonder it's so hard for us to exercise and eat well. And I was saying to people, it's like, it's not that we're all just completely lazy and that we have no willpower, but if you put all of those things against us, it's not going to be fun. You don't have to ask a kid to go exercise. They just want to play because they feel good. And that's essentially what gyms are, exercising. It's a way for us to move our bodies and expend energy in a way that back in the day, like caveman, that's what we would have done, right?
Yeah.
We're like way back in the day being like, okay, I want to lose weight. Let's go like drag these logs around and run around. We're conserving energy at that point, right? So it's just really getting back to those basic things and remembering that our body truly does want to be healthy and fit. It's designed that way.
So yeah, let's delve into that a little bit. Like, what are a couple tips that you have that are super basic? I know, again, like as career-driven women, we don't always have time to integrate these like ridiculous fitness schedules. And it's like, yes, as much as I'd like to work out 5 days a week and try to do that, it's not always possible because sleep's important, like getting other stuff is important. And again, it's like fitness is always the last priority and it gets dropped
100%,
right?
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, lots of the times we think of it as, an expense, not as something that's going to give us more energy. So I always focus on adding, like what I said before, rather than taking away. So for instance, if you're for breakfast, think about having even good quality protein and good fat in your day to stabilize your blood sugar, keep your mood balanced, your appetite in check, so that later on in the day you don't have as much blood sugar crashes. It's one of the most simple, basic tips, but I find a lot of the times people will grab like a Starbucks and a muffin because they're on the go, or like cereal that seems healthy that's full of sugar, and maybe even almond milk because that's healthier, but it's still not giving them enough substance.
Yeah.
And so what happens by the time it's like 3, 4, 5 o'clock, your blood sugar is so low, it's like, heck no, you don't want to go to the gym, right?
Oh, for sure. Okay, let's play a game quickly. Okay, I'll count to 3.
What?
I said let's play a game really quickly. I'll count to 3, and on 3 we have to like shout out our favorite type of good fat.
Okay.
See if it'll be the same. You ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Coconut butter.
Oil.
Yeah.
What did you say? What did you say?
Coconut butter. No,
I
oil.
said oil.
Yeah.
Did you say coconut oil?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. High five to coconut oil. I have some right here. Just want to throw that out here, ladies and gentlemen, but I presume most of the people watching are ladies. I use this as a moisturizer. It's beside my bed. Don't get any interesting thoughts about that.
But you totally can use it for that. Apparently.
Yeah, you can use it for that too. That's actually such a good point. Nature's best thing. But it's so good. I like to even eat it. Okay, people think I'm crazy, but it's not anything but awesome. It's like when you're feeling really, really ravished, even a little bit of coconut oil on a spoon, it tastes good. It truly gives you so much sustained energy because it's the most stable source of energy, and it actually helps you burn fat. So good for your skin, so good for your hair, smells delicious. You can put it all over. So good. Yes, and I'm just going to put it on myself right now.
Ladies, other tip that I picked up from, I think, Megan of the Green Kiss is she's like a huge proponent of using olive oil, but coconut oil is an amazing way to take makeup off your face at the end of the night. Like, so true. Easy. It like smells amazing. You can moisturize and just like wipe everything off, and seriously, phenomenal. Amazing for your cuticles as well. Amazing for your skin. Yeah. Smells delicious. And my favorite dessert right now that I've been making is like melting some coconut oil down, adding in like peanut butter, nuts, hemp seeds, cinnamon, like shredded coconut, and then throwing it in the freezer. And it's like almost like a fudge bar. Oh, and like organic or like all natural cocoa powder. And it seriously tastes like a fudge bar, but it's like super healthy and delicious. And
no guilt.
Sometimes I'll eat it in the mornings as well.
Well, I think that's funny that you're talking about that, because coconut oil is just like one of the basics. I feel like that's just what we should talk about right now, because it's just so important. And it's like, if you don't feel good, like, why are we here? What are we doing here if we don't truly feel good about ourselves?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like I said, go buy some coconut oil, everybody. It's not expensive. Yeah, oh wait, I didn't say this, but it's
go ahead.
Can I say something? It's really important that you get virgin coconut oil, because it's been less refined. Cold pressed, yeah. And the way you can tell if it's a good unrefined kind is like it actually smells and tastes like coconuts. If it doesn't smell like anything, it's been refined. So just make sure when you're getting it that it says virgin. There's no such thing as extra virgin coconut oil, unlike olive oil. So just virgin and organic if possible, within the budget.
And surprisingly, if you go to Costco, you can buy these like huge tubs of it, and I think they're like $16 for like massive organic cold pressed coconut oil. Like you would never think you could get it there, but yeah, I have a huge one in my kitchen. It's like 3 times that size.
Yeah, bathroom, bedroom, everything.
The bedroom.
Yes, and it's such a it's just a staple, and it's like the best fat burner ever, and it's fat. Go figure, right? It melted in my room because it's really hot, and now it's all over my hands, but that's cool. It smells good.
Okay, so touching on just a little bit of working your body. Do you have any tips for things that people can do to kind of like trick themselves into getting exercise each day that don't like the gym?
That's a very
that involve coconut oil by the bed. No.
I hope my mom and dad are gonna watch this. Okay, so we'll shelf that. But
you can lay it all out there.
Well,
I'm on there.
Yeah. Okay. Don't distract me. I'm a huge fan of downloading an app called Tabata. Having it on your phone. It's a free app. I'm going to try to get it here for you. If you've probably heard of it. It's a technique to exercise that is 20 seconds of, can you see this? It's 20 seconds of work and 10 seconds of rest. If you can't see that, just get it. It's Tabata. It's called Tabata. It's basically a 4-minute drill. And why I love it is because if you're feeling unmotivated or you can't necessarily afford a trainer or go to a class, you can just turn this on, press start, it'll beep for you. And what I tell people is like pick 2 exercises. So let's say push-ups and standing squats. And what you're going to do is you press start and you'll do the 20 seconds of just push-ups. Then it gives you a 10-second rest in between, and then you'll do another 20 seconds of the standing squats for 4 minutes, cycling back and forth. And what's cool about it is you end up working a lot harder because for the 20 minutes, the 20 seconds, or you're going hard, but you know you're going to get the 10-second rest. It's almost like tricks your brain into like doing more instead of just say going for like a run, a jog or whatever, where you're really in your head. This is like full out. And I tell a lot of my clients who I give homework to do to work out at home because they can't make it to the gym because we're busy, is I give them 30-minute Tabata exercises, basically like, you know, anywhere from 6 or 7 Tabata drills back to back to back. And they're like totally done. They get a huge like sweat and also better bang for their buck than say going for a jog for an hour because they're hitting higher points and getting their heart rate up and doing things that like maybe at the gym you would feel weird doing, like burpees or like random, you know, jumping moves. And that's really what we need to do is shock the body, but not put too much on it. So something short and sweet like that, I love. It's free, it's simple.
Wait,
and maybe you and I can collaborate.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, did you see me? I was like thinking about it. I was like, maybe next video, but basically just jump in the air. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's everyone's favorite exercise. But maybe you and I can collaborate or something and put a little thing together, like a women's Tabata workout or something.
Totally.
But it's really simple. You can Google it. And then I'm doing my 6-week transformation where I'm going to be giving out those free Tabata workouts too. So if you're interested, you can post that link stuff too.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in a little bit. Okay, so we've talked about fitness, we've talked about food. Why don't we talk a little bit about just general wellness? So what are some small tips that you would recommend for people to incorporate into their lives?
Well, like I said, I'm a big, you know, coach on enjoying the process. So instead of like, oh, I cheated today or I'm good today, it's just being where you're at, learning to be in flow and also to just appreciate what you're doing and like attaching a positive association to like adding good things. So definitely that. I'm also a big fan of removing the toxic, which is anything from people, circumstances, where you spend your time, you know, what you do for your downtime. A lot of the times we think like life is happening to us, not realizing that there's so many things we can control just by saying no to certain things or people and standing up for ourselves. A lot of the reasons why we're so unhealthy is due to the fact that like our modern day lifestyles are so crazy and busy, but we don't really know how to say, be like, instead of lying in bed because I'm sick, just saying no to all the things that are causing me these problems. So I know that's a huge topic, and just to narrow it down, it's like, what are some things maybe, you know, we can all look at in our lives right now that if we eliminated would create so much more space for us to feel more relaxed, more at ease, give us more time and a better quality of life.
Yeah, why don't we make that a challenge? So anybody that is watching this Lunch and Learn, we challenge you to write down and also post underneath this video or on the Gold Zebra or on our Facebook page or on Olivia's page 3 things in your life that you are going to cut out by April 1st.
That's awesome. I honestly, like, yeah, you've been challenged.
International Women's Day.
You know what's crazy? Like, we haven't talked about this yet, but we all have this gut instinct, and it's not like just some woo-woo thing. It's a real thing, like actually at like a chemical cellular level. Like there are things and the feeling that you get, and that's a survival thing. And a lot of the times we have things in our life or situations or people that are not good for us, and in our gut we already know. And so we really kind of like get in tune with that and start eliminating, like you said, crazy shit can happen. You know, I really have been focusing on that in my own personal life, and it's been profound. So trust yourself, trust your gut, and don't be afraid to, you know, follow your heart. Ding.
Yeah, it's like one of my favorite quotes that I like say all the time is just like, you are who you surround yourself with, right? So I think it's like on my Facebook page.
So true.
But it is true. Like, so
100%.
if you're constantly surrounding yourself with people that are negative or have a bad attitude towards things or are eating shit or have jobs that they're just pleased with or aren't applying themselves, like eventually you're going to ameliorate into being at that level, right? So
Yeah,
Olivia and I
sure.
just went to this conference in LA featuring Kyle Cease. Hi, Kyle.
Hi,
Matthew,
Kyle.
shout outs to you. But he talked a little bit about this in one of his sessions and how, like, when you're an adult and you get to hang out with like a 5-year-old, for example, right? You're gonna go down to the 5-year-old level because they don't understand like politics or like, I don't know, just
GMO food.
yeah, like really intense topics, right? So you're gonna like change your language, change your tone, and react to their level because they're gonna understand that. So the same thing happens when I'm not saying that like there's certain people that are above other people, but just in the sense that like if somebody's negative, you're gonna bring yourself down to their level and play on the
Hmm.
same playing field, right? So try
Hmm.
and really find those people that are going to be a good influence on your life so you can continue to stay up above the water or like
100%.
be positive or reinforce you to pursue whatever your passions are or like I don't know, lose X
Yeah.
amount of pounds. Not that weight matters, but yeah,
Feeling good does.
yeah, feeling
Yes.
good.
Yeah. Well, it's so, so true. And one thing you just brought up that reminded me of a quote. And actually, Taylor Conroy said this to me a while ago, like a couple years ago, and I always remember it. It's like, be
Quick shout
really
out.
careful. Yeah, be really careful about who you take advice from, and make sure that the person that's saying it to you, if it's something that you know it's important to you, make sure that they're living the life or they're doing something that they love so that you can respect it. Because a lot of the times,
Yeah,
like people say things to us from their own, fears, doubts, insecurities. And so just be careful because if you're feeling vulnerable or you're in a state where you're growing or progressing or changing, you want to make sure that the people around you are like higher than you and can bring you up. And so that you're not ultimately being swayed by, people who aren't in a position that you maybe want to go to.
yeah. So that's definitely another thing. Something I posted recently on my personal site, respims.com. But I was talking to one of our friends, Lilia, about that, and just how
Yeah,
like it's so awesome when you're like the shittiest or like least successful person in your group of friends, right? Because you're going to
totally.
be pushing yourself to get up to that level of everybody else. So
100%.
when you're like top of the game, like yeah, you feel great, but at the same time, you're no longer growing, right?
For sure.
So
Yeah. Yeah, and just like stay true to yourself, and like we're just talking about following your gut. Like your gut is
mm-hmm.
always right, always, always, always. Like how many times where you do something and you're like, oh, you already know you shouldn't do it, and you do it, and it doesn't work out. It's like boom, bingo. It's
Yeah,
it's
and
there
it's like
to
that in
help
so
you.
many capacities. Like eating food too. It's like trust your gut. When you feel like crap after you've eaten crap, then like you need to trust that your gut is the one that's right. Like you shouldn't be eating that crap. It's just like
For sure, for sure.
digesting certain people or like situations or just
Yeah,
everything. It's like
yeah.
amazing how intuitive our bodies are, right?
Yeah, and I work with a coach, and he always reminds me, and it's so so simple but so profound. He's like, your job, all of us, is to be happy. Like we
Yeah.
are responsible for our own happiness, not the world, not life, our jobs, our friends, and so whenever I'm feeling crappy or I get low or I get sad, I'm just like take a step back, zoom out, and remind myself like we're only here for a short time. And, like here for a good time, not a long time. What a very good song. But that there's just little things that we can be grateful for that we can add into our life and just appreciate it so that our health is better. And truly, like when you feel good, it's way easier to go to the gym. It's way easier to choose, apple and almond butter over a bag of chips. It's
Yeah.
way easier. So that's
And
why
it's
I'm
like
so
way
like,
easier to find that partner or like feel good about
yeah,
yourself or like getting all dolled up into that sexy dress that you want to go out on the town or
yay!
yeah.
Boy. Well,
Yeah.
you know what? It's so funny that we all are so in our heads. We're like, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not this, this, and this. And it's like when you just like let that all go and just start like again taking care of yourself from the inside out and just go on your path. The people will just show up in your life anyhow, and you'll be amazed at like what can happen. But we got to stop cutting ourselves down as women and
Mm-hmm.
being like, I'm not. Everybody thinks that. You think that you like we're all like, oh, I'm insecure. I have this. It's like every girl feels like that. So we need to like come together and realize that we all have our little flaws and we're not going to give into like media's bullshit about how we should be and be like, screw this. I want to feel good right now, not when I lose 5 pounds, not when I lose 10 pounds, but right freaking now. And I'm going to enjoy this moment. And by just doing that, you're just going to cultivate good shit. And you're, as a byproduct, going to get the body you want.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So why don't we make that challenge number 2 for this video? I like never do challenges, so this is awesome because it's a special Hashtag. Um, okay, so challenge number 2 for all of you ladies watching the video is go to your mirror for a period of 1 full week, if not 1 full month, and recite 5 affirmations that are positive to yourself in the mirror. Like, I am good enough. I am beautiful enough. I look fucking amazing.
Love
Oh, I
it.
should probably bleep that part out. Or maybe not. Or just like any other positive affirmation you have. So if you can do that for a week, that's great. They say that it takes 21 days to establish a new habit. So if you can do it for 3 weeks, that's fantastic. And you will be
Sure.
amazed at how much your mindset changes once you finally actually believe that you are good enough and that you
For
are
sure.
sexy enough and that you are positive enough and that you look good enough. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, and if I can just add to that, or simplify, one thing that's a good progression to this, if that's something that feels maybe too much for you, because I know especially like with us, sometimes you can be like, oh, I'm beautiful, and then you're looking in the mirror and you're like,
And
in
then
your
you're
head,
like,
you're like,
oh,
no,
so
I feel
cheesy.
ugly. One thing that's really helped me lately is just doing 5 things that I'm grateful for. It's just like the same
Yeah,
thing, you know what I mean?
gratitude journals.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and I mean it's similar to being like I love my eyes or I love my hair, I love that, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just thinking of it more like I'm grateful for my hair. So that could be a great way to, just as an add-on or something if that resonates better with with you,
Yeah.
because that really helps me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yay.
So, any last words, insights to busy, driven career women?
Okay, stay true to yourself. It's like a huge one. Listen
Yeah.
to your gut. Take risk, and it is your job to be happy. Nourish yourself. We need you to be well, like we do, and we need to start collaborating as women and helping each other out because we all struggle with the same bullshit. And I'm like totally like we need to rise above this, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because if we can get to a place where we can contribute, and like you and I have talked about this, but it's like so it feels so good to be able to like help somebody else, but you cannot do that unless you're taking care of yourself.
Yeah, so it definitely comes down to you feeling confident in your own abilities first, and then that way you can give that confidence and love and respect
Somebody
and
else.
assistance,
Yeah.
yeah, to everybody else in your tribe or community, right?
Yeah. And we don't need anybody to try to be like anybody else. Just be you. We need people to be you. Like, just be yourself.
Be yourself.
Weird.
Everyone else is taken.
It sounds so cheesy, but it's true.
No,
And
it is.
what else? And then, yeah.
Well,
Do
that's
you
the
have any
whole
questions?
mantra of the Gold Zebra, right? It's like all about being unique and understanding where your uniqueness factors are and
Yeah,
establishing what makes you special in the world and going after it.
for
So
sure.
that's kind of
And I truly 1000% believe that we are all gifted and we have something within us that is, worth $1,000,000, just like they said at the seminar on the
yeah.
weekend.
Everybody
And,
has a
and
million
that
dollar idea.
absolutely, and that everybody has something to offer that could really, really impact the world and make a big difference. So, just never believe that being like uniquely you is so important, and that's why even just like talking about nutrition, it's so fundamental and basic. But that will get you closer and closer to, living your truth.
Yeah, that's amazing. So that's our little motivational rah rah on International Women's Day. And
Yay!
yay! Happy International Women's Day. I love being a
Yay!
woman.
Feels me
And
too.
I love you, Olivia.
I love you too.
But seriously, for all of the viewers out there, both of us are here to reach out to you. We're both going to be mentors with the Gold Zebras program. But if you'd like additional services, I mean, Olivia does coaching for women in particular, yes, as well as men. But she is an amazing resource of
On for the
knowledge.
ladies.
But
Yeah.
yeah, she loves the ladies. And she will share her coaching
Ladies.
info with you as well, if you'd like. Just always
Can
have
have some.
to.
You can come.
But yeah, so Olivia, before we wrap up the interview, why don't you tell us a little bit more about the webinar? So a lot of things we talked about today, you will
Yeah,
be touching on a little bit more in your free webinar that's happening next Thursday, right?
for sure.
And then
Yeah.
for the ladies out there that are looking for a little bit more, like super amazing deal, but she's going to be offering, is it 6 weeks? Your
Yeah, so
workshop?
it's a Yeah, it's 6 weeks, and it's for women who are ready to truly be empowered and transform from the inside out. So what we're going to do is a 6-week program where everybody comes together. I'm taking 20 people, so a small group of people, and you get daily videos like mantras and motivation to your inbox, and then as well you're going to get video workouts that you can do anywhere at your home, at the gym, that are 30 minutes long. All the fitness and nutrition tips, and then just basically building that community so you're always supported throughout the journey. And I really, really, really am going to be teaching during the process. So it starts on March 15th. If you want to join, just come to the webinar on Thursday, or I guess you can just message me as well.
Yeah, so you can definitely email Olivia for more information. I am obviously biased because she is one of my best friends, but I can guarantee you that it's great value for money. You're going to get an amazing experience out of this. Again, as Olivia said, she's only taking on 20 people for her workshop, and so it's going to be very intimate. You'll have an opportunity to create this really strong foundation of a community with 19 other people. So definitely check it out. Find out more information. Olivia is going to do a 45-minute workshop with question and answers next Thursday, as we said. And so check it out. You won't be disappointed. If you saw how much enthusiasm we had during this interview today, times that by like 10 or maybe 100, and that will be her workshop, I guarantee. So, Olivia, can you tell us all of your social media channels, how people can find out more information about you? What's your website?
For sure. You're going to probably post the links too, right? But
Sure.
you can go to oliviakeen.com, which you'll post, as well as keentobefit.com. I have some recipes on there. And then my Twitter is Olivia_Keen. My Instagram is Olivia Keen. What else can I say? My email is info@oliviakeen.com. You can find me on Facebook, add me to Facebook. If this resonates with you, I'd love to chat.
Awesome. So awesome. Okay. It's always great talking to you. I miss you. I love you. And I will see you very soon.
Happy Women's Day, everybody.
Yay!
Yay.
Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. As I said, there are 2 challenges that we are putting out from this interview. So review them below. We would love to see what your results are. So 3 things you're going to cut out of your life by April 1st, and also 5 affirmations and or points of gratitude that you have to create some amazing habits and have yourself feeling freaking amazing about yourself within the next month. We'd like to thank you so much. You guys are all amazing, and there'll definitely be more interviews between the 2 of us, hopefully in person in somewhere tropical in the future.
I love that. The beach. I'll be in my bathing suit drinking a Mai Tai, yes. Talking about coconut oil.
Getting tanned with the coconut oil. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to the Gold Zebra. As you know, Lunch+Learn every Friday. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, as well as subscribe to myself or the Gold Zebra and Olivia Keen's YouTube channel, as well as Keep Fit. And thank you so much. Have a great, amazing International Women's Day.